The points that I'll want to make today, the first is that monument on the courthouse green is really more so a monument to the ingeniousness of the daughters, the United Daughters of the Confederacy, which was formed in 1894. And in the early 20th century, they worked very hard in the southern states and even in the northern states, erecting monuments in places where you would never think of there having been any great Confederate popularity within local communities. They raised a lot of money in many local communities erecting these monuments, and they also made some money for their other works. They were part of a conscious effort to rewrite history, to give a vision of a genteel culture which had perished as a result of modernization being forced upon them by the North. They began a rewriting of history, as it were, saying that the war came about because of sectionalism, states' rights, and third, slavery. And we know that this is not true because of the historical records of the time, that in fact what the states of the South had said that they wanted was a strong central federal government which would protect their property rights, speaking of their chattel property, human beings of color who were slaves. It is not actually the flag of the Confederacy. It's the flag of the Army of Northern Virginia, which was under the command of General Lee, a very famous American patriotic family, I might add, in the years leading up to the Civil War. Nevertheless, it is a battle flag, and it's one that tells us you have to believe in fighting to the death for this cause. It's very iconic. It is, by definition, as a battle flag. It has come, by definition, to have to be an emblem of hatred.
Right.
That simple.
It's an emblem of violence.
Yeah, right.
We're here to kill you.
That's right. It's also a treasonous emblem because it represented a cause which wanted to destroy the United States.
Yeah.
You know, we have to remember that just a few feet away from the Talbot Boys statue is the location of the old Talbot slave market. I have a photograph of it right here. And it amazes me every time I look at this photo and I think, just steps away, there's a statue of a boy, and he really is a boy in this statue. He can't be more than 18 or 19 years old. Probably left everything behind to support a cause which already had been lost, a cause which was immoral, and that was the enslavement of human beings. And yet, where is the memorial to all of those human beings, to those thousands of people who were exchanged, they were bought and sold, they were jeered at, they were stripped naked, poked at, had their teeth examined to see if they would be worthy of being a slave, to be in forced labor? Where is there a monument? You know, and if we really want to say that we need to have balance on the courthouse lawn, well then why not put a fountain in the place where the slave market was, so that people looking at that sad, forlorn, lost cause of a Talbot boy can also see the tears being shed in that fountain. And tears which were shed by those people as they were separated from their loved ones, from their families, not like Joseph in the Bible, never able to see their families again. Where is their memorial? It is wrong to say that the statue of the Talbot boy gives some kind of balance or equity. Now with in recent years, the memorialization of Frederick Douglass on the courthouse lawn. And I have to ask, what kind of balance is it when you, on the one hand, memorialize a man of truth, of honor and dignity, the native son of this county, one of the greatest figures in American history, one of the great writers, one of the great orators? How does memorializing him balance out the savagery, the immorality, the reckless cruelty of the cause for which those poor Talbot boys fought? There, of course, the answer is, of course, it's obvious, doesn't balance out. We are living in a very special moment. Because of the event in Charleston, that horrific massacre of those 9 souls, I have come to think of them as being martyrs to the cause of reconciliation. my goodness, the outpouring of forgiveness from their families has been so unique. And I think that it's helped temper our character in other places in the United States, certainly here as we've been thinking more about this conversation. God knows we would never wish for that horrible kind of event to happen in any community as it happened in Charleston. But what it has done, it has given us a window of spiritual and practical opportunity to be able to discuss these things with each other. So we have a unique time on our hands, and we really need to use it in a very effective and pragmatic way. Governments have an enormous responsibility in participating in the social wheel of the larger community and even in local communities. I deeply respect what Governor Nikki Haley has done in South Carolina, and I also deeply respect the whole self-questioning that the Talbot County Council now is going to have to do in regard to memorializations on the courthouse lawn, on the green, not only with respect to the Talbot boy, that sad figure, but also what kind of monument there should be. In my opinion, there ought to be a monument to those thousands and thousands of people whose lives were bartered and sold. I think that the council has a difficult task ahead of them, but I do want to say that President Corey Pack has taken a very forthright position. There is going to be this hearing before the county council on the 29th of August at 4 o'clock, and then I don't have my calendar with me. I believe it's on September 9 that TACL, again Talbot Association of Clergy and Laity, will assist the county council by holding a public conversation, a public forum. On the one hand, we might hold it in the community room of the Talbot County Free Library, the Easton location, or we may even move it to the community room of the fire hall here in Easton. So there is going to be plenty of opportunity to talk, and you know, rather than to turn it into a debate on mere monuments, you know, my prayer is that it would become a discussion of the heart. Many years ago, well, a century ago, there was the great Indian poet Rabindranath Tagore, who wrote of a religion being less of doctrine and dogma, rather what he called the religion of the heart. And my prayer is that is what these public discussions can become, really a conversation of the heart, a reconciliation of people of different cultures coming together and saying, we're all Americans. We're larger than that statue.